Hello, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. Today, I am going to hit on a feature that is something we've gone over before, but we keep making updates, right? So, as we keep changing things and keep updating things, it's great for me because that means I get to go back over old material and I don't have to come up with new videos again. Huh? All right. So, this time, we're going to go over eCards and flyers. Now, the last time I went over this, I believe it was long enough ago that it was just eCards at that time. So we've added in a flyers platform to it, and we've also made some additional changes to it and added in some more eCards and stuff. So I just wanted to go in and go over it again. So, into the DeltaNet. And here we are on our welcome page as usual. To get to eCards, I'm going to scroll down and click on Customers, and then click on eCards and Flyers. Now here, first off, we have resorted this page. So now all of our newest eCards will appear at the top, and you'll see new ones pop up every week, every couple of weeks here, because we've just been trying to release as many new eCards as we can and new flyer options. But the way the system works is you just choose the eCard or the flyer that you want, and if it uses listing information, you'll then pick the listing information or listing you want to put the information on it, and then just preview it and send it. So, first off, we have the filter by category box up at the top that allows us to pick any specific category we want. So if you want to see only eCards that pertain to new listings or just sold listings or just generic eCards, you can pick a category here and see only those cards. Or we can filter by type so that you can see just eCards. So now everything we're seeing is eCards, or just print flyers. And you can see that we have several of those in here also. So let's go over eCards first. All right, so if I switch this to eCards, we have our list of eCards here. You see we have some generic ones that have to do with holidays. So if I click on one of those, we'll see it has no additional options. And then if I preview, that is what our eCard will look like. So you see it has your picture, in this case my ridiculous picture down here at the bottom. And then anything you roll over that highlights and red dotted line like this, you can click on and edit. So if you want to just edit that section, edit the way that it appears on the eCard, you can do that. And once you have this eCard looking the way you want it to, just click on Send to eCard, fill in the email addresses of individuals you want to send it to, and keep in mind this is the only system that allows you to do that. So every other system, you're connecting it to a customer account. So you would type in the customer's name and it'll grab the email address from that customer record. In this case, you can actually send it directly to email addresses, which is kind of nice for, it's especially nice for testing. So if you want to just put in your own email address and fire one off to yourself to, see how it looks in your email client, it's really easy to do that. You don't have to create a customer for you, even though you probably already have for testing. Most people have. Or you can just select the checkbox for any other groups you'd like to send this to and click the Send to eCard button to send it out. The other thing you can do here is you can customize the eCard subject, or if you want to force this one to go out on a later date. So if you want to set up your holiday eCards to go out ahead of time, you can do that by setting the date here and clicking Send. Just keep in mind that you don't usually want to set them out too far in advance. Right now there's no way to cancel one that you have set up, and it will use the information in the group that you send it to on the day you click this and set up the send, not the day it actually sends. So to make more sense out of that, if I were to set one up today to go to Supergroup, and I want it, say it's a Christmas eCard, and I want it to go out right around Christmas time, say on the 20th, then I would set this for December 20th. There we go. And then click Send. Now, if between now and December 20th, I were to add more customers to my supergroup, those customers would not get this eCard. Only the customers that are in that group on the day that I set it up will actually get it. So it's worth keeping in mind if you want to set these up to go out in advance. All right, so we'll click Cancel on this one. And we'll take a look at a property-related one. So in this case, I just clicked on, this is a generic eCard. Let's do one for an open house. So if I click on, see categories open houses, so that's what this is going to pertain to. I'll click there. It lets me select the listing I want to use, or now what it will do is it'll display just my listings on this list. If I want to send out an eCard for maybe another agent's listing, for example, I want to send one of my customers, I think that I found a property they might be interested in, but that property is not one of mine. I can go ahead and type the MLS ID for it up here, or the address, and then it'll bring up all the matches. I can select it from the list and create an eCard for that listing to send out to my customer. They might be interested in it even though it's not my listing. And then if you have open house information, you would just fill in date and time of your open house. The description on that listing fills in automatically down here, but you can modify that if you want. Click on preview, and then there's the look of your eCard. And same deal with this one. Anything you see with red dotted lines like this, you can edit individually. So if you wanted to put a different phone number, different description, maybe you want the price to display differently, something like that, you can do that. You can also change the picture. This listing only has one picture, but if it had more than one, you could click on the picture and select from other ones here. And then once you have this set up the way you want, it's the same deal. Just send eCard, pick the groups or type out the recipients, and hit send eCard. And that's all there is to it. All right, now the next thing you can do here, and this is kind of the newer feature since, at least I think since the last video. So many videos, you know. So if I go down here and select print flyer for type, and let's say I want to create a flyer that looks like this one. So I'll click on my preview, I'll select a listing. Same idea applies here. So either pick from your own listings that should come up in the list automatically, or type in the address and the MLS ID to bring up all the listings that match it. And then go down here. This is the description of that listing, so I can modify that here. And I can also choose the shape of my agent photo on there, which is particularly significant because some of these eCards will try to put it in a circle. And depending on how your agent photo is added to the system, or what shape it is, what size it is, it might not translate well to a circle. So you can change it to a rectangle, or any of these other shapes in that case. Let's do a rounded rectangle. And then when we hit preview, here we are. See our rounded rectangle down here. We have all of our information. So in this case, because we're not doing an eCard, we're just doing a flyer, it will generate our flyer preview. And then we go down here and click Generate Flyer. It actually generates a downloadable PDF. So when I click this, it will download that to my computer, and I can either print it out on my own printer at home, or the way these are built, they're kind of meant to be printed edge to edge. So that's the way they look the best. So a good idea, or something we suggest for these, is to then take that file to just your local print shop and have them print you up copies of the flyer. And then you can leave them at your listings on the counter, or whatever it is you do. You could also even send them out in like physical mailers if you want to, or like I said, leave them at the property or take them to an open house, things like that. So the new flyers are pretty cool, and you can look through each of the new ones here. They all look pretty good. Design did a really good job with these. In fact, let's take a look at this green one. I haven't looked at this green one before, so I just want to see it. It's not green, but it looks pretty good, right? So. All right, so the last thing you can do with the eCards and flyer system is actually something I went over last week, but since it's in the system, I might as well hit on it. So while we're in here, if we go up to the View History button at the top and click that, you can see that the system will now track when you send an eCard, how many were sent out, how many customers clicked through the eCard to go to your website on any of the links in the eCard, and how many opened the eCard. That actually should kind of be in a different order. So how many sent, how many opened it, and then how many clicked through after they opened it. So all that's kept tracked by the system. You'll see all the ones that are labeled as NA are not applicable because those were print flyers. So we didn't actually send those anywhere because we didn't send them anywhere, they can't be opened or clicked through. So there you go. And you can also see your entire history in here, or you can filter them down by what property was attached to the eCard. So if you were looking for, did I send any eCards out on this specific property? You can just type in the address right here, and it'll filter down all of the ones that match up. And here's all our 1, 2, 3s. It's a lot of 1, 2, 3s in a demo site. All right, and there you go. So as always, thanks a lot for joining me this week. That is the eCards and flyer system in a nutshell. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video, send us an email to support@deltagroup.com, or give us a call. If you have any suggestions for videos, do the same. Just get a hold of us. You can comment on the videos or anything you need. So thanks a lot, and I will see you next week.